Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Hey, check, 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 check. Peace, peace to the tribe. What's up with your family? How y'all doing? It's Brother Lawrence 228, and it's the top of the morning, man. How y'all doing? I think I'm still asleep, but I think this may work. This may work for me to get my tail on up. Get my day started. You know, I heard some science behind it. Going about 5 o'clock in the morning is the best way to go. I don't know about that. That's just what I heard from some what's the people that be when you go to the gym and they try to you probably a workout partner or something. I forgot what you call them. Anyway, I ain't no gym rat, but I'm an athlete though. Yeah. So y'all see the title, man. Gulf Coast Indians and Mississippi genealogy. If you've been following my page, my channel, you'll know that most of my material that I put up is geared towards Choctaw. All right, because that's my family's maternal lineage. All right, and this page is dedicated to that journey and knocking down some of the doors. Right, when it comes to history, our family's history, or our family's place in history. Right, and I just wanted this YouTube based off of that, documenting that trail. So for now, got a series of articles, few publications. I'm about to drop. I'm gonna drop the link, the source, link to the sources after the video, and so y'all be able to check the articles out. And let's see. Let's go on ahead and shit. Before I get to sharing my page and all that, I want to give a big shout out to my homie, big homie, Eric Newsom, man, with the Pearl River Project. I'm collaborating with him on. Matter of fact, let that be the first thing I do. Share. Let's go. Share screen. Let's go. StreamYard. Okay, allow. Boom. So, boom. If you tuned in, please hit that like button. Right? If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that as well, if you don't mind. All right, so you can see right here, I'm on my YouTube channel, and you see here, it's got the Pearl River Project, and basically with the Pearl River Project, we're gonna be highlighting, different historical, not only markers, but monuments, geography, stuff that really people is not privy to. We kind of bringing that to light, and it's a fun project exploring the Pearl River, coming out of the Gulf. It's the same as the Mississippi River, right? So if you actually follow the trail, it'll go through Jackson, well, not the trail, but the river, Pearl River. It'll go through Jackson, Mississippi, all the way to the Choctaw. They said Mississippi Choctaws, Okay, in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Okay, Choctaw Nation's in Oklahoma, and in Philadelphia, it's the damn band of Mississippi Choctaws. But yeah, that's the page, man. Y'all make sure y'all you follow that movement when we bring it forth that information on that. Okay, um, so I'm down here on the Gulf Coast, right, and um, Long Beach to be exact, down here in Mississippi. So instead of getting off into all the BC when it comes to the timeline, I try to stay no further than the 1400s, so 1500s. I don't want to go beyond that. But I'm gonna try to concentrate present. And this particular article from the Picayune item. Shout out to Picayune, Picayune, but Picayune. That's how we pronounce it. This is from the voice of. I can't even remember. Blow this up. Blow this up. Blow this up. It's gonna let me blow it up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the voice of the Pearl River County since 1904. Picayune item. Okay. Photos, Laurel Wu depicting the three stages of pottery production and painting. Okay. Looking back on the Native American history in Pearl River County. This is part 2. Let us find part 1. Where is part 1? But anyway, we're gonna keep it moving right here with part 2. Yeah, we're gonna move right there with part 2. But yeah, man, this Pearl River is a big deal when we're talking about indigenous culture, First Nation peoples, right? And it's right here in our backyard. The Pearl River's right down the street. We're not right on it, but I'm on the beach. I'm the further south you can go here in North America, Turtle Island. Well, with the exception of not including Mexico, Central and South America, but here in North America, yeah, it's about as south as you get. All right, we on that water, that dirty water. Okay, so yeah, all this is going to be relevant and to those who want to further their studies and research in these areas, whether in Gulf on the Gulf Coast, that's Louisiana, that's Mississippi, that's Alabama, and that's Florida, right? So all that history, it's a lot of it, right? And I think I'm gonna stick right in that area for now, instead of trying to have these conversations with other people about, we can't put a finger on it. It's in the air, really. A lot of speculation, but it is what it is, man. We're trying to make our part the best we can. We can use it to our advantage, right? Sometimes it's we in the classroom, or we got the screen, we got everything plugged up, and then it's a part of us, we got to be boots on the ground. So this channel right here is gonna be a little bit of both of those, And as of right now, we in the book, so online to part two of this, looking back on the Native American history in the Pearl River County. Okay, the Akilapissa tribe was not only the Native American tribe to make its home in South Mississippi, the area was also once populated by members of the Choctaw tribe. Huh? Pearl River County, okay, like most of the areas of Mississippi, was once home of many Native Americans. Stated a pamphlet from Pearl River County Historical Society and the Pearl River chapter of Mississippi Archaeological Associated, titled recognizing and rejoicing in our Indian heritage. That was a mouthful. Claire Howard, who is of Choctaw descent, okay, and that's how we should classify ourselves now, of Choctaw, or whatever you may be descended from. You'll say descent, right? I'm of Choctaw descent, so blah 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 blah, you know. And Barbara Perez wrote the pamphlet. Said Jerry Stoll of PRCS CHS. The Choctaws were the heirs of the mound building Mississippian cultures of the Southeast. Gene Stockhill Hartfield wrote in that article published in the Historical Reporter, a publication of the Pearl River County Historical Society. The late Gene Stockhill Hartfield was a native of Pearl River County and often spoke of her Native American heritage. She claimed kinship to the Red Stick Creek Indians and probably Chief Rutherford, Stowe said. Hartfield was also the president of the Mississippi Archaeological Association from 1990 until 1991. In the article titled "The Choctaw of the Coastal Mississippi Counties," Hartfield wrote, pottery during the Mississippi period was tampered with burnt shell. Tempered with burnt shell. I want to copy that. In this article, Hartfield wrote, pottery during. I can't even do it. I don't like this people anymore. Why you won't let me? All right, you won't let me copy it. All right, well, it ain't meant for me to copy. Hartfield wrote that the acidic soil of Pearl River County shell dissolved, leaving ceramic shards with hundreds of tiny holes, and some of these shell tempered shards were recovered in Pearl River County. So we talk about the coastlines and stuff, how you got these seashells and stuff coming up, and we should do another I should do another build on those, because we do use those shells for the roads, huh? Right, we transportation, those shells are very important down this way. So and actually probably was one of the first to incorporate shells within the road. All right. Yo, scroll down. Stowe, we're gonna say Stowe. Stowe said the history of the Choctaws in Pearl River County began around the late 1700s or 1800s. Okay, they were a matriarchal society. Yeah, I put that in your pocket and take it home with you. They were a matriarchal society. If you don't know what that means, hey, just look it up. Matriarchal. Stowe said Native American people from the Choctaw tribe in Pearl River County participated in a well-known battle, right? The tribe leader organized a group of Choctaw warriors, including some of Pearl River County area, who joined with General Jackson, okay, at the Battle of New Orleans. Stowe said, we need to do something on that. Talk about the Battle of New Orleans. All right? Who know about the Battle of New Orleans? I sure as hell don't. So I'm gonna research and I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Let's talk about it. What really went on with the Choctaws down in New Orleans with this battle with General Jackson was going against who? The British? No, General Jackson would be the Union. Let's go ahead and talk. Let's open up a tab. Got Google. General Jackson. Battle of New Orleans. Yeah. New Orleans. The Battle of New Orleans was fought on January 8, 1815 between the British Army under General Sir Edward Pakenham and the United States Army under Brevet Major General Andrew Jackson, roughly 5 miles southeast of the French Quarter of New Orleans, in the current suburb Chalmette, Louisiana. Yeah, I'm always coming through Chalmette to come to the city. You know, I'm over here in Long Beach, so we gotta take 90 all the way 90 west of New Orleans, right? I-10. Shout out to I-10. TX filmed me on that. Cali filmed me on that I-10. Shout out to 49. But them two roads right there, hey, you meet right there in Gulfport. And Gulfport is really, 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 really special. Gulfport, Mississippi. But yeah, we gonna get on that, man. Battle of New Orleans. We still in the city. We still in that little pocket of the Gulf Coast. So this is right up my alley. So expect something in the near future about the Battle of New Orleans. We're gonna dig into it. We know the Choctaws up in that thing. We know they are. Cause they just told it in this article right here. So we're gonna link it up, man. So we're going right back to it. You know, this gonna be that's pretty much it. Let's see. Yeah, man. But take that home. We a matriarch, right? It ain't the men coming first. It's the women coming first. We need to get back to that. Man, I have to use, I promise you, I had to use that method for my own household in relationship to work. Huh? For my own. Yeah. I wanna get back to that. That's what we preaching over this way. You know, anything that going on, that patriarch, that like the dude. No, man. Let's include the ladies, the women, the queens, the empresses, right? Hey. Shout out to the matriarch. All right, Stowe said Native Americans from the Choctaw tribes and Pearl River participated in the Rare New Battle. Oh yeah, we talked about that already. The Battle of New Orleans. Yep. And Stowe said the Choctaws were skilled warriors who often caught the British soldiers by surprise. They were devastating. So they weren't scared to ambush. I wonder how that worked out. They were devastating to the British, Stowe said. Ooh, Stowe. Okay, well, has been carefully documented. Members of the Whoop Hartfield reports and have written documents. We are fortunate in having written documents of the last remnants of our once proud and independent people who were here when the first Europeans insurgent occurred. Okay, the pamphlet states the late Arthur's Laura Evans and recorded the members of our elders who witnessed the gatherings at the first county seat center, and it's also known Caesar. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna throw that out in the description after the after after the video is over with. Okay, we should see right now up on the screen talking about them early Indians, and we ain't left the coast yet. That's what this all about. Huh? 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 All right. As you can see, it's a lot of text down on this thing, man. We ain't gonna get into it too much. Probably read about 4 or 5 paragraphs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I'm gonna leave that in in the description as well. And man, I got bad. I used to wear glasses. Let me zoom. Can I zoom? Zoom. 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 All right. All right. All right. So Indians of the past. All right. Where's the past? The past is past Christian. Mississippi, right here on the Gulf Coast. Right outside Long Beach where I'm at. Okay. Past Christian. So we're talking about the Indians here on the Gulf Coast. All right. Pre-Columbian Indians. Current archaeological evidence suggests that man crossed the land bridge from Siberia to Alaska in North America long before 15,000 BC. Right? With this last period of glaciation around 8,000 BC, the land bridges were closed. So this is going along with the out of Africa theory, right? Coming out of Africa through Europe, coming out on the other side. I mean, Asia, right? From Siberia to Alaska is where it's at. I'm tripping when the words are right there. And an expert carefully trained through long years of study is required to read the story from clues found in the prehistoric remains hidden in Indian mounds. Okay, so the mounds gonna give you the clues to the past. What's been going down? Been going down here in the Americas. The lower coastal region has occupation sites of middle and late archaic period peoples. So middles like up to 8,000 years ago. It's like 5 to 8,000 years ago. Late archaic is probably the earliest, which is around 3 to 5, something around that. 3 to 5,000 BC. The Gulf Coast region has good occupation sites of early, middle, and late archaic peoples. The most populous tribes, the Choctaws, with about 20,000 tribesmen, and the Chickasaws and the Natchez, each numbering about 4,500, had a common language heritage known as the Muskogee. This language was very agreeable to the ears, courteous, gentle, and musical. The women in particular were prone to musical sounds representing the singing of birds. There was no written language. That's hard. There was no written language. Let's keep reading. Mississippi Indians had a spiritual belief in one God and ceremonialized the sun in worship. The tribe elders maintained calendars based on collective winters. They maintained a universal calendar consisting of the node of fiber, which each knot represent a time period. The Mississippi tribes were town dwellers. So we go from town to town. Shouldn't be no strangers. Following the clan system of social organization, with all clans belonging to a national council. Ain't that what we need to get back to? A national council. Let me repeat that. The Mississippi tribes were town dwellers. So we were cool with each other. Right? You from a different set, right? But you're cool. You know, you maybe some allies. Like if it went down, y'all be on the same team, right? Following the clan system of social organization, with all clans belonging to a national council. Most definitely what we need, especially in within the indigenous community. We need to get back to these fundamentals on how to structure our tribes, our nation. We screaming that we want to be on our own. We're trying to separate ourselves from the system because we don't want to play the system. Because you don't know how to play the system. You got to go have y'all. And there's a way you got to do that. And you got to go through them for that. It ain't no way around it. Just think about it. Like when you get land, right? Don't you still got to pay taxes on that land? Oh. Yeah. You still got to pay taxes on that. Unless you want them entities that wouldn't you tax free. You wasn't enumerated during the census. Your people was on the reservation, on a reserved spot for you. That's where, in my family's genealogy, you know, my Choctaw ancestor, she moved from a reservation when she was 6 or so. One day I'm gonna bring that obituary so y'all can see. You know, now I'm just not just talking, but I mean it's for my family, of course. And this whole channel is for them to come to, and the further research that I already to put forth, right? So the next generation, my family, all they got to do is show them this YouTube, and they can get to work, and it's already laid out. And then you gotta take a few weeks to get all the information, to watch all the videos, and hey, get the ball rolling. That's my purpose. It's for the family. So I'm gonna bring that. One of these episodes. I'm gonna bring all that back out because I uploaded. When I first started my videos, let me see if I can go back to it. When I first started my videos, you see, if I go back, I was doing my genealogy, tracing my ancestors using genealogy part 1, part 2, part 3. And this when I first got into the game with it, using ancestry and just really heavy. It's about 2 years. It's been about 2 years, but a year ago is when I was actually trying to document it online, right? So It's been a lot of updates. I wouldn't say half of the stuff probably. There's some stuff that's wrong and really could be updated from. But let's get back to it. The basic foods were provided by the deer and the bear. The basic foods were provided by the deer and the bear. The deer was most esteemed. Its flesh was cooked fresh and dried and smoked for winter use, and the skin served as a principal material for clothing. Antler tips were used for arrow points, and dried deer sinew and entrails were twisted and used for bow and arrows and as thread for sewing and for weaving for nets. The deer brains were used for softening tan skins. Whoa. The deer brains were used for softening tanned skins. The bear made heavy winter robes and bed coverings, moccasins, and boot leggings. Dry bear gut was used for bowstring. Bear claws used for necklaces and ornaments. Slabs of bear fat were stored in clay pots for cooking, hair dressing, and body rub. What y'all know about that, putting that bear fat in y'all hair? Do anybody do that today? Do anybody do that today? Almost got in my GMB for us. The economic life of the Indians was enriched by commerce with other tribes. In business transactions, they counted quantity by tens, related to the numbers of the tie of their fingers. They traded deer skin and bear oil with merchants and other tribes, trading for apartments, conch shells, and sheep copper for making ornaments. Where they getting that copper from? Getting it from Michigan, down that trade, down that Mississippi River, Pearl River. A popular trade item was an Indian slave whose ankle and heel tendons were cut to keep him from fleeing. Whoa. A popular trade item was an Indian slave. Indians who was the Indian slave? Was the Indian slave the Indian? Was it the African? Who was the Indian slave? Was it the freedmen? Did Indians have freedmen? Yeah, man. Was it a freedman? Or was this different from a slave? Man, it's crazy. Tendons were cut to keep him from fleeing. How you gonna work with the heel? Man, come on. I know how that feels when, football players, track, sometimes baseball, just sports in general, man. You pull that thing, man. You talking about cutting it? You no good after that. Why would you cut it? You gonna make sure I don't go. You trying to make you make sure I don't go, but you make sure I don't walk either. At the same time, it's like a lose-lose situation. Indians who migrated from the south. Many historians report that Native Americans on the Gulf Coast had originated from the lands across the southern waters. Many historians report that the native Indians of the Gulf Coast had originated from the lands across the southern waters, presumably the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, land of the Mayan Indians. Man, this stuff gets deep. So all right, so either, of course, the out of Africa, most of what we deem is not true, but could it be true with, nah, it can't be true. I got you. Nah, it can't be true. But you got two migrations though. We can't say that there's not an influence of Asian or Asiatic people, you know, within the quote unquote Native American today that's on the reservations, right? But those Asians don't look like the people that came from presumably the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. So y'all saying, ooh, the Maya Indians. They don't look the same. Could this be where we met up at? We got the Asiatic Indians from the north, and we got the south, the southern Indians, which, as they saying, originated from the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico to the Gulf Coast. So we coming up. Brazil, Mexico, South America, how you want to put it, Central America. That's where we come from. So none of them people down there light skinned it. A few, because black people can produce that. Yeah, we gonna have that. They're gonna have all the shades. The ensuing migration accounts concur with Indian legends from the Yucatan Peninsula and from the lower Mississippi Valley. The young Maya chieftain was told to take a sacred pole and to stand it on its end each day. Now that, my friend, is a story that is told within the Choctaw tradition. This says a young Mayan chieftain was told to take a sacred pole and to stand it on its end each day. The direction of which the pole would lean would be the course of travel for that day. His journey would end when the sacred spear would stand erect without leaning in any direction. Day after day, the spear continued to lean them northerly until they landed on the Gulf Coast. What? So in Choctaw, they placed the stick in the middle, and let's go to it. Choctaw creation story. Ooh, let me zoom in. Can you see? All right, so Choctaws got two creation stories. We just dope like that, you know what I'm saying? So they got the first story is from emerging from a mound. The mounds, Nina Wire. Let's see. The second creation story is yet another variation tales of a prophet arriving from the west coast, followed by an entire people. The mound was divine, was meant to be their new home. They settled. I need the one with the brothers. They followed one man called Shata and became Shata. Oh yeah, all right. So, all right. Yet another variation tells of the prophet arriving from the west coast, followed by an entire people. The mound he divined was meant to be their new home. They settled and later broke up into different groups. One followed a man called Shata and became the Choctaw. Others followed Chickasaw, his brother, and became Chickasaw. Some say the Creek and the Cherokee originated there as well. But I'm talking about when they put the sticks in the ground to kind of see, they missing the part, this particular source. Like they're not telling the whole story. It's kind of summarized. But let's see, has been venerated, the mound, focal point, from surface, occupation varies. Yeah. So they left the part out where the brothers, when they were traveling from the west to the east. Don't that sound familiar? Well, to some of my traveling brothers, yeah. But our brothers and sisters, to be exact. Now, this is the thing. They traveling west to the east, and the way they found out where they was going to be calling their, what you would call their home, you know, it was by where the stick, you put the stick in wherever it leaned from the wind blowing it, was where their Shata led his people. Shata and Chickasaw. Right? So, but these, the second story, the Choctaw creation story, they come from the west. You either coming from the west or you coming from underground. Pick or choose. But I find that, you know what I'm saying, this probably a complete fail, but they really left out. I was trying to link those two stories together. But again, a young Mayan chieftain was told to take a sacred pole. In the Choctaw creation story, they talk about that stick or that pole and to stand it on its end each day in a direction in which the pole would lean. You're not finna just put the pole in the ground and it's gonna lean. The wind's gonna blow it. For it to lean, the direction in which the pole would lean would be the course of travel for that day. His journey would end with the sacred spear, would stand erect without leaning in any direction. After day, the spear continued to lead them northerly until they landed on the Gulf Coast. This account also confirms with the early history of founding Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge means red stick or Estruma. Over hundreds of years, the culture became greatly modified by the new terrain, which consisted of marshlands, like Goshen Ghetto with the marshlands, and low rolling hills. The former pyramid builders altered their specifications by erecting raised mounds along the coastal high grounds. Even today, there are sounds of mounds from Indians of old that can be found in certain places like Bay St. Louis. Shout out to the Bay. We got DeLille. That's how that, it's not Delisle, it's DeLille. Okay. And these are important places. These right on the water, that dirty air water. Okay, Pearlington. Now, Pearlington is gonna be important because it's right off the Pearl River, hence the name Pearl, right? So, and past Christian, well, not past Christian, but past Christian. You gotta put that "and" on the past Christian. You know what I'm talking about? Many of these date back to 500 to 100 BC. Talking about the miles. They're talking about the miles. The early Spanish and French explorers encountered various tribes along the Gulf Coast, such as the Biliki, the Mactapi, the Oma, and the Pascagoula, as listed in the. I got a cousin named Bula. And we used to make, hey, but I know now, hey, Pascagoula, as listed in Iberville's journals, near the mouth of the Mississippi River, they encountered the Tanapoa, the Mugalanchas, and the Bayugulas. And further upriver, they smoked that peace pipe. What? And further upriver, they smoked that peace pipe and celebrated the dance of the Calumet with the Nepisas and the Kinapisas. The Indians called the great river the Malbancha, the Malbancha. I'm here with these words because I know I'm messing them up. The early Spanish called it Rio de Palacios. Palacios, or Rio de Espiritu Santo. The early French called it St. Louis River, or the Mississippi, 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 as recorded in Iberville's journals. Alright. One of Iberville's entourage, Andre Pinnacle, reported that during the spring of 1700, Iberville reported contacts only with small groups of Indians, a male hunting party in one instance, and nuclear of small extended families, one of which was traveling with stored maize and beans. So there's some, I want to talk about in another episode about what the natives' foods were. Like, for example, I know we went over some earlier, but what were the Indians doing before the colonizer came? Were they picking cotton? We're gonna answer that question, man, on another episode. We're gonna keep it moving though. Was traveling with stored maize and beans. I'm probably finna put some red beans in some water now and let them soak. They be done by this evening. Indian villages lay deep in the interior, far above the limits of tidewater. Somebody was talking about tidewater a while back. I think it was one of these empresses. I can't think of a name. Native villages were located well inland of coastal area. Coastal sites were typically dispersed with small seasonal encampments. Okay. Choctaws, the descendants of Chief Choctaw and his followers, were by far the strongest Indian tribe in Mississippi. They lived in central and southwest regions and covered the southern half of Mississippi. Because the tribe was too large to be ruled by one man, the Choctaws divided their people into 3 groups, each ruled by a chief as a Mingo. Chief Tecala Yarba, ruled the Hancock tribal group from the Devil Swamp, lower central part of the county. So Hancock is on the west. I think it's on the west side of the Pearl River, but it's right on it. Where it might go through the. See, can't be doing that. Let's see. So we did that one. Let's go see what that Hancock County. Said I wasn't gonna be on here long, but we just vibing out. So so it is on. See the Pearl. So here go Pearlington. We're gonna get into Pearlington for the Pearl River project. That's gonna be the next spot we go. We're gonna be up in here. Yeah, look at that. So you see Pearl River and you see Louisiana, Mississippi. So it divides. It helps divides the two states. All right. You got the old Pearl River. All right. But it's all powered by you know what? Coast to coast. So that's Long Beach. That's where I'm at, right here on that water. And this is the area that we exploring, Hancock County. Right? So and since it is on the east side of the Pearl River, okay? So just for reference, yup. Shout out to anybody tuned in, even on the playback, man. If you don't mind, if you like what you, I'm on the wrong part. If you like what you're hearing, hit that like button and support. Let's go back. We ain't got that yet. So we in Hancock ruled the Hancock tribal group from the Devil Swamp, lower central part of the county. The Choctaw dispersed in small, presumably family-based groups in the spring after the crops were planted. Okay, after the crops were planted, I don't know. We'll get into see if they talking about some cotton being planted. They subsisted on fruit and aquatic foods until the early summer, when they returned to the home community for the annual green corn ceremony. Yeah. Following this, they dispersed again until harvest time. After the crops were harvested in the fall, the men were away on the fall hunt. Ladies, y'all gotta hold down the house. We provide and we protect. Y'all hold down the house. We'll help whenever you can at the house, but sometimes we need to go. We got to get out and go get it. After the crops were harvested in the fall, the men were away on the fall hunt. You think they're going to be back at the same day? Nah. And the remaining villagers gathered nuts and other resources for winter and early spring consumption, as described by R. Barry Lewis in his Fires on the Bayous. We need to check that out. Fires on the Bayous. See, this is, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just take the little breadcrumbs and somebody gonna know somebody that knows somebody gonna let you in the door. You feel? And my screen just boom boom boom. Trying to go to, probably doing too much right now for this old school iMac. That's all I wanted to go to the first time. It just bring me down. You wanna maybe wait in line and shit. You trying to go all that. I'm trying to get a VIP. Get that SSD up in this thing. Cause the HDD ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't hitting on nothing. As you can see, my stuff is just Mississippi Hancock County. This will be a good time to plug in the Pearl River Project. Make sure you check that out on the page. Got a few videos on there, man. We went, me and Eric Newsom, Columbia. Yo, yo, man, computer froze up, but it got me back. I don't know how long. The only way I can figure this out is if I stop the broadcast and actually see exactly where I left off at, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna pick back up on another episode. But if you still tuned in, man, and I appreciate the support. If you made it this far, I must be talking about something you like. I will come back probably later on and just finish it up. And it's still an early morning. I don't even think the kids are up yet. And I know they ain't up because my door ain't open. They know I'm in here editing and doing whatever in the studio. And so it's still early, man. Give y'all time to get up, and get to moving about. And I'm gonna fall back online probably the next hour or two, for part two. And we're gonna leave it just like that, man. Brother Lawrence checking out this thing, man. Peace and blessings to you all.